Ah, Gromer's Town, the Port of Skulls. Word is that the local Marquis, Bolga Thanebreaker, has had it with the Kharadron Skyfleet and wants to give him an ogre-sized boot in their mercantile hides. Fortunately, I made a deal with both parties. Gromer's Town will join the Storm's mandate if we escort the Skyfleet to a new post where they begin harvesting an Aether Gold vein to the east in the Summer Scar Plateau. Report to Captain Brokka Brokkisdotr for your assignment, and please, be polite. Waves of the Soulfire Sea crash against rickety walkways and anchored mercantile ships. Amidst the docks are scrap iron dwellings, lit by torchlight in the early hours of the morning. The buildings web over each other and climb to meager peaks, wrapping around massive foundation pillars for the skyport that rises above into the sky. Over a dozen Kharadron airships, from swift cruisers to colossal frigates, hang over your heads. The atmosphere buzzes with the exciting sound and countless shouting voices and armored boots clanging off the decks as the crews of rowdy duardin go about loading the ships. So you guys are already in Gromer's Town. It's kind of a point of lights sort of situation where a lot of different sailors, privateers, pirates, ne'er-do-wells, if you will, have begun to tie up vessels, and, you know, with these vessels coming to a pause in the Soulfire Sea, they use it as a hub to go out, explore new islands, kind of similar a little bit to you, but with a much more ulterior motive, typically. As you come up and you hop off your ship, perhaps it's Phallus piloting, I don't know, you're signaled over to a nearby dock by a thin man with an even thinner mustache. He kind of like takes a look at all three of you and pauses and says, business or pleasure in Gromer's Town?
Well, it's purely business.
Both?
Nothing but business.
Nothing but business, business and pleasure and business. Okay. Might I ask who you are?
Well, you can ask, but ain't gonna tell you.
Hi, I'm Meriss Honeysuckle. Nice to meet you.
We're trying to be coy here, Meriss.
Hi.
Hello. He takes out a rather limp scroll, takes a look and scans down. Not afraid I have a Meriss on this list. Well, I'm afraid you'll need to pay the normal docking fees.
Cassandra looks over to Okri.
What do you want?
I ain't never paid a docking fee before.
You were so quiet, too.
What do you want? I ain't never paid a docking fee before.
What's the docking fee, my good man?
It'd be 5 files.
5 files.
Seems to me like this man is trying to take us for a couple of idiots.
Well, if you'd like to take your little rowboat and sail back into the Soulfire Sea and find another location with which to do biz pledge, I would be happy to oblige you.
Sorry, sir, I didn't quite catch your name there.
You may address me as Sea Harbor Chief Hildermoth Lythman.
I take it you own this dock?
I'm responsible for its caretaking, maintenance, and making sure everyone pays their fair share.
Well, Mr. Sea Harborman, sir, I'm sure that we can come to an agreement. Maybe there is something that you're looking for. Now, I've traveled far and wide. I have traded. We just need to dock. Maybe we can bring you something back, because it's a hefty price that you're asking there for. Now, I do have a talent diplomat to help resolve conflict, so I'm wondering if that's something I can roll for, because people tend to be nice and polite to me.
That sounds pretty applicable. List of sorry, what skill was that?
Diplomat. Advantage opposed tests when resolving conflict, gauging moods, intentions, or lies. People tend to be cordial to me and respect me, even if they don't like me.
Okay. Let's see. It sounds like a guile.
A guile? Oh. I'm going to roll a 3d6.
Okay.
And advantage does reduce the difficulty to a 3-1.
What does
apparently.
that mean?
Reduces any difficulty to that?
Sometimes during an opposed test, one may have an advantage. If a character has an advantage in an opposed test, the difficulty for the test is reduced by 1 to 3.
Right, so he's going to be rolling a 4-1 and you're going to be rolling 3-1, and then we'll compare the differences.
There you go.
And you have to tell me what I got to pass, right?
So it's going to be on 3s.
Oh,
so in an opposed check, there's no like success ratio. You just
Gotcha.
need to roll more than he did. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going.
Throw those dice.
I got a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 5.
Oh, you actually get one success, and so does he, actually.
Shit.
Do you have a focus in Guile?
Nope.
Okay. So he, mulls it over for a moment. He's not entirely swayed by your offer. I'm sure this is the sort of thing where someone probably comes over and skips. But he thinks about it. It's like, well, you know what I could do? If you could leave me some collateral, I'd be willing to let you peruse the city for a little while.
And I look towards Cassandra and Okri, and I just kind of do a little shrug of my shoulders, and I put my hand in my bag, and I pull out a ring. Has a blue stone on it with constellation. And I look at Okri and Cassandra and see, looking at them as if, can you do better?
Well, little lady, I don't think that's yours to give.
Meriss just stares at Cassandra like, what are you talking about?
Well, I believe that you took that off of somebody else. Seems only right that you give it back to whoever they may have left behind.
He's dead?
Well, if you died, I'm sure you'd have somebody you'd want to give your effects to, not some strange dockmaster.
Okri, do you have something?
Ladies, I'm very sorry, but is this really the time to have this conversation?
It seems like an appropriate time.
I'll turn around and I'll just, I'm going to pull out 2 of those rings that I got. I got a mysterious bracelet, 2 rings and 2 bracelets from one of our first adventures. I'll pull out the 2 rings and I'll go, these are very important to me. Please don't lose these. Is this a sufficient collateral, my friend?
Are you giving the mechanical one or the basic ones?
Just 2 basic rings.
So you're basically lying about the value of those, right?
Am I?
Well, you said they're important to you. I'm assuming.
Yeah, money.
I suppose you might have
thing.
the dragon greed.
Sentimental value.
Yeah, I took them off dead ghouls. So do you want me to roll some guile, my friend?
You know what? Actually, go ahead and roll an intuition. Intuition mind. We'll do an opposed check here.
Okay, it's just 4 dice. I got a 5 and a 6.
Okay.
I also got a 2 and a 1, but...
Okay. You see he looks at those rings and has a very bad poker face, almost kind of breaks into a toothy grin for a moment and then flashes shut again. He's like, might need to do a little bit better than that, I'm afraid. Anything you can sweeten the deal with?
Unfortunately, all of my other belongings are on my ship. It's as far as I can go, my friend.
Well, all right, but this won't buy you very long. And he takes the rings, puts them in a little satchel, and then steps out of the way and lets you through.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy Gromer's Town.
I don't suppose you took those off of dead bodies as well, did you?
We'll talk about it later. As I'm walking past Cass, she's like, we'll talk about it later.
Finders keepers.
The rule of the land, my dears. Finders keepers.
The docks here are, fairly rickety overall, enough to at least keep you steady and from plummeting into the sea. As you're walking and maybe standing up slack-jawed as Cassandra is seeing these sky ships for the first time, you notice there's all manner of different races perusing on the docks here. You see Oryx, you see ogres, you see duardins, you see humans, you see elves, you see a couple halflings. All sorts are walking for you. You even actually spot a couple Stormcast Eternals amongst this crowd further off in the distance. And you kind of get the sense that this is a place where fights probably break out quite regularly and for little reason.
And this is just for me. I just want to make sure that I've got myself all figured out. What is our goal in this town right now? We're supposed to see somebody, right?
Tequila had told you that you were supposed to meet a captain by the name of
Brokka
Brokkisdotr.
Brokka. All right.
Captain Brokka or the captain's daughter's name Brokka?
No, the name is daughter, but Captain
okay.
Brokka Broks. We're gonna do a little on the fly change. Brokka Broksberg.
Okay.
Brokka Broksberg.
Less thematic.
And she's a captain.
She is.
Okay.
Well, it seems like it might be a bit tough trying to find Brock in all this madness. I say we get down to brass tacks and start asking around.
Maybe we should go to one of the hubs. There's got to be a pub or somewhere that most people, when they dock here, stop off and hang out at, that we can ask for some more information.
And now you're speaking my language. Let's go find ourselves a pub.
And Meriss just kind of starts walking off in a direction.
We best be quick, too. I didn't like the cut of that fella at the dock there. He seemed like a underhanded and suspicious fella.
It didn't seem like a very nice man at all, in fact. I would like to ask a fellow Kharadron I'll meet in the streets if there is a watering hole preferred by our people.
Our people.
What do you mean your people? What do you mean your people?
I mean
Just
the
to
Kharadron
lay that on the
overlords.
table there,
Guys.
because they have drink at separate establishments.
Well, they're very insular, duardins. I would assume so.
So
Who knows?
racist. Got it.
And by extension, you, Nico, the person, are a racist.
Well, I've been canceled. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah, you actually spot, one of the duardins that you pass by. He's in the middle of carrying, some cargo off of a ship. You ask him where to find a pub, and he points you towards a shack that's kind of up on stilts out of the water, and it has like a kind of a little bit of a rope ladder leading down.
So Meriss just walked off in like a random direction. So
Okri, we're gonna have to put a bell on that one.
Yeah. Meriss!
Maris comes running back.
We're going this way.
I might just have something for this, and Cassandra takes a little cowbell out and just attaches it to you. Well, I never leave home without one of these. You never know when an Auroch's gonna go stray.
And
It's a good thing you said. Oh my god.
Pickles crawls out and starts playing with the cowbell, and on the troop goes towards the pub.
It's a good thing you said small, because I assumed it was just going to be like just a full-size cowbell, just glong, 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 glong.
That's actually kind of insulting.
It's just like, that's really bad.
Yeah.
The duardin that you were talking to kind of mentioned that this is like almost like when in the airports they have like the pilot's bar.
Oh, this is like this is like
So
a short
swanky.
lounge.
Well, comparatively, as soon as the three of you kind of make your way towards it, you hear a large crash come from inside.
Well, it seems like there's a bit of a tussle.
These happen often. Stay clear of the windows and the doors.
And as soon as Okri says that, the window cracks and smashes as a large blur of green and brown comes flying out of the window and lands face down on a pile of crates. And you just see an Auric kind of like push himself up. He's got a tricorn on and like a huge plume feather, and it kind of looks behind him. And he looks back up, begins to like, oh! And then coming out of the window, you see a female duardin with tattoos all over her face whip a tankard at him, and it hits him on the forehead, and he falls back into the pile.
What'd I say? Mind the doors and windows.
Great aim.
Are they still fighting, or?
After that happens, you spot a couple Aurochs kind of like slink out of the tavern, make their way down the ladder, and sheepishly walk away. But that seems to have stopped the fighting.
Is the female duardin like still outside or around?
She just threw it from the window, and she's gone back inside at this point.
I bet that's Brokka.
What do you folks want to bet that's Brokka right there?
I'd rather not steal your money, so I'm not going to do that. But...
Cassandra's going to saunter on inside.
But Cass, 1 sec before you go in.
Oh, all right. What is it, little guy?
Let's not...
How tall is Okri, by the way? Because like Meriss is pretty short.
He is a righteous and mighty 4'4".
Oh, he's a short dwarf.
Yeah, he is.
Salt in the wound on that one.
Cassandra notices that she's touched a nerve.
First of all,
my stout fella.
First of all, you're digging a hole. Stop. Second of all,
Won't have to be too deep.
Cassandra starts pulling at her collar.
However, the original point, don't mention my name in that bar.
So what should we call you?
I didn't think about it that far ahead.
You didn't think that we'd agree, did you?
I'm going to call you Blort.
Blort?
I'll
veto
go,
that.
well, let's go with Mag. Just, I'm not sure exactly who will be in there, and don't want to draw too much attention to myself.
This is an odd request.
Yeah.
You want to go into a little more detail there?
Well, let's put it this way. My first captain left me for dead, so
you're not a very likable guy, are you?
I'd rather they didn't know I was alive.
And Meriss just starts walking towards the door while they're talking.
This is why we put
she
bell
heard
on
it. She heard it, but she's cool. And now on we go.
Yeah,
she's not going to wait for the conversation to stop. She's just going to go.
Yeah.
All right, up the rope ladder. Everyone make a strength check. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, fuck.
You make it inside.
Oh, don't give me flashbacks.
Flashbacks. Yeah.
Real quick, Dave. I remember to bring my weapons and my gear and my clothes. Just a heads up.
Damn it. Okay, well, the other guys didn't say anything. All of you show up naked on the docks. That's why he was trying to get money from you. Let's keep this rolling. You all arrive to the pilot's bar. It's kind of one of those things where like they had a theme and they kind of went with it, but they kind of went too far. Like the tables are like converted propellers, and you have all these like metal piping and tubes kind of hanging down from the ceiling with lights that kind of get in the way as you come in. Especially, actually, you notice how tall is Cassandra?
No, Cassandra's 5'10".
You know, even at your rather modest 5'10".
5'10's tall for a girl, I think.
Not in the mortal realms. Who knows? Who knows what the average height is? At your modest or maybe very impressive height of 5'10".
At your indeterminable height.
Let me rephrase this. 5'10 is modest in this world where you have stormcasts and orcs and ogres. But at your 5'10, that is of an indiscriminate quality, you come in and you actually need to just weave it to avoid the occasional bulb of light.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that if it was geared towards the Kharadron. It was a little bit of a shorter ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Cass is going to take off her hat so she doesn't lose it.
Cool. You know, there's quite a few different duardin smoking, laughing, drinking in here. There's kind of like a little bit of a haze that's kind of like lying through the top of this bar. Behind it, you actually kind of spot a rather rough-looking duardin with like a tank top that's like been like ripped up pretty bad. You can tell he's been here for a really long time.
Just in this bar for a long time, he can't get out.
He's been rooted to the floor. Yeah. Well, what do you do?
Well, the first thing that you do when you go to a bar is you get a drink. Cassandra marches up to the barkeep and says, "Give me one of your strongest."
Cass, I'm not sure that's a great idea. Duardin ale and spirits are very strong.
She looks back at Okri and then looks back to the barkeep. Well, I'll take one of your strongest.
He shoots you a smile. I'll give you a little bit of bread and toast to go along with it. And he reaches under and kind of like has like a kind of a rind of a loaf that he puts on a plate and gives it to you. And then he also like pours you a really thick amber draft and puts it down. Anything for you too?
Do you have anything that's non-alcoholic?
He takes the plate of toast that he originally gave to Cassandra and gives it to you.
That laugh was in character.
Meriss doesn't even look at Okri, and then looks at that female duardin. Where is the female duardin? Is she sitting at the bar?
Yeah. She's kind of at the corner. She's like looking out the window. She's got her feet up on like the windowsill that has now been broken.
Ooh, that's dangerous. Shards of glass everywhere.
Well, because she's a badass.
That's a health hazard.
I want to be her friend. Sorry, I let Okri order. Meg.
I'll have the usual flight, if I may.
I want a name for this flight, just from Okri. What's the name of this ale?
The name of this ale? I mean, it has to be the one, the only Bugman's Finest.
Bugman's Finest, yeah.
Bugman's second finest.
Second.
He keeps his finest for himself.
Yeah, the finest has been lost for ages.
You have good taste. He gives it to you.
Thank you.
Where do you hail from?
We came from the back of a turtle, but I didn't grow up there myself. I'm from a little bit, a little ways away, a little town called Gulch.
How about you, Dowie brother?
It sounds like you haven't heard of it. All right, that's fine. Just ignore me. I understand.
Afraid I'm not so familiar with Gulch. I think I'm mixing their accents.
You are.
You did there, yeah. I'm from Baraknar, friend. Originally from the realm of metal. A long way to be in this fine establishment.
What's your name, friend?
My name is Mag. I got a question for you real quick.
Okay. I love the skirt through. That's great.
What's her name?
Suppose you must be new here then. That's Captain Brokka.
Is it? No. Well,
I done told you it would be Brokka.
So she was described a little bit before, but now that you are close and nearby, she has her helmet, kind of on the bar next to her. She's got kind of these dark gold laced dreads that kind of go down along her back. She has a deep bronze set of armor, Kharadron armor.
She looks like someone that would break me in half, and I would enjoy it.
Oh my goodness!
No, she is a badass.
She looks dangerous.
Yeah,
well,
she can fuck us up.
Cassandra tips her hat to the barkeep and says, well, thank you kindly, and saunters on over to Captain Brokka, as we now know her.
Sure, Cass, you still have to pay the man.
The barkeep, as soon as Cass walks away, kind of like shifts his full attention to you.
Yep.
Well, I should probably go talk to the captain since I'm the other duardin in the group, and I'll get up and go.
I'm gonna try to I guess I'm paying.
I imagine the barkeep.
Meriss is just standing there like, oh.
I imagine the barkeep putting his hands on his hips and just fucking looking at you.
Yeah, he has the towel in his hands, and then when he's really upset, he whips the towel over one shoulder.
Oh, no.
And it's kind of like waits. Brokka, as you approach, she kind of like leans over, and, she wasn't super far away. She's just the other side of the bar. Back of a giant turtle, eh?
Cassandra sits down and slams a drink down in front of Brokka. Yeah, from the back of a turtle. What of it?
You must be Tequila's boys.
I assume that he sent word?
That's right. Looks like we're finally moving out of this little, I don't want to say shithole, but I mean, it was literally built off a pile of grot guano, so shithole is an endearing term. But yeah, we're moving out. We're going to go harvest some aether gold. We could use a few hands.
So we're just the hired hands, are we?
Is there a problem?
Not much of a problem. I just don't like being told to go somewhere and do something without any sort of agency, but...
That's when I come in. Hello! There's a vein of aether gold in the area, eh? How big? How far? Coordinates?
Yeah, it's due east over the Soulfire Sea, east above the Summerscar Plateau. We sent a couple gun haulers to send back word, and it looks like it could be pretty profitable. We're not entirely sure how long it runs, but it could fund the foundation of a new skyport in the Sigmar Isles.
That big? Wow. All right.
That sounds like a mighty hefty haul. Are we going to see any of it?
Well, the payment that Tequila had worked out with myself and Bolga was that we could potentially give you some once we're set up and running, and then these islands would report into, ally with Storm's mandate, so I'm sure there's some coin in there. I'm sure you're talking about drops, because we don't use the term coins around here.
That somehow sounds worse. Hey, how many drops you got?
I would assume that Meriss, in the middle of this conversation, did show up after paying the bartender. Caught the tail end about what is going on.
I fill her in.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do work.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
I love it. So one of my short-term goals for my character is, in fact, to find a vein of aether gold in the region.
Hey.
And I had a question about Captain Brokka. What skyport is she from? What's funding her venture?
Yeah.
For those of you at home, the different skyports of the Mortal Realms all have a decent competition with one another when it comes to stake and profit in aether golds. So that's why it's one of those. If she's from the same skyport, perfect. If not, then
So basically, the Dwarven clans, you mean?
all the different city states.
Need to form an alliance between the clans. Duardin marriage.
Wait, what? I'm a bachelor. I don't have time for that. I got all my work. I've got all this stuff.
All of this stuff.
I got big things going. Big things happening. I can't be tied down.
She says, Barak Urbaz. Where do you hail from?
Baraknar. And there's a tense moment of just kind of well,
she elbows Meriss and is like, you know what they say about folks in Barak Urbaz.
I
know. And then she puts an arm around Meriss as they're both laughing heartily, and they're both pointing at Okri.
Wait, you made fun of your own skyport.
Oh no!
And I start, and I put my arm around Cass and go.
Cassandra looks at everyone.
So that's a wonderful DM fuck up, because what happened was I looked at my notes when I wrote it down. It's this is the port she's from, and then I looked down at my notes to make fun of you, and I just grabbed the same one.
Perfect.
Cassandra looks around and she's like,
Help.
Well, I can't help but feel a bit awkward right now.
Another Duardin kind of sticks his head in. "Oh, Captain, we gotta go. We're late." And then she kind of like pauses after having a really hearty laugh and wipes away a couple tears because her joke was so funny. And everyone laughed.
Everyone laughed.
And everyone laughed. She slams back the drink that Cass gave her.
Now that the pleasantries are all done with, let's, as we say, hit the saddle.
All right.
Awesome. So you make your way through the rest of Gromer's town. You spot a statue of Gromer himself, which is actually a rather large-looking goblin. There's a statue of him in the center square, kind of made out of like rock and bronze. Being a statue in Gromer's town is kind of rare, but it's almost a form of mockery, you can tell. And he's basically standing on a rock that's full of trash and basically like bird shit. Yeah. And as you make your way past, you spot a rather large ogre making an address to like a inebriated crowd. She's got like a stomach plate that is like a duardin king's shield. She's got gauntlet covering her right arm that is kind of like a red helmet that's been fashioned into like a punch gauntlet that's been like worn down over the years. And she has a pair of stormcast pauldrons holding back a rather generous pair of
bosom,
barely kept in place by these
Sigmar
pauldrons. And she
this is a family podcast.
The bosom of mercy.
What is this?
Being held back by stormcast pauldrons.
This has turned into Dave's fan fiction now.
and then what do you and then what do you do? You make your way past.
This is not an ASMR podcast, Dave.
I seduced the ogre.
Brokka leads you past, and you make your way up these massive towers leading to the skyport above. And you can kind of tell, as you go up, most skyports that Okri, you would know that this is a pretty
ramshackle.
Yeah. So you can kind of get the impression that
this is like the landing pad for like greater ventures.
Yeah.
To eventually fund
you can tell that they're eager to leave as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you see the fleet, and amongst it you see Grungi's face, which is the ship that you'll be taking part on. You'll be with Captain Brokka. It's a well-traveled Argonaut frigate. Proud the ship's actually shaped into a scowling golden duardin face. And as Brokka kind of like leads you aboard, you kind of need to step around various crew that have been loading up different kinds of crates and boxes. What do you do?
Well, I can't help but wonder, Brokka, as we pass by that statue of old Gromer, who the heck was this guy?
Well, rumor is that he was a grot that got thrown overboard after he made a foul joke at the expense of Trogoth, and eventually he washed up on a rock. Let me find my notes. She says,
the classic history of the town that you keep in your pocket there.
Oh, this town you don't like.
Well, they said it used to be a nesting site for siltwinder cows. They'd haul themselves up on the rocks, and then they would just shriek and shriek and shriek. Rumor is you could hear these things for miles. You'd get woken up on your bunk. So poor old Gromer, he washes up here one day. He had like some loot that kind of washed up one day, and then his ships came by. He managed to do some really, really wise trades, and eventually this kind of became a place of a rumor, kind of like meet out at Gromer's town, and ever since then, people started building it up, and someone squished Gromer one day. We don't really know who, but he made a foul of somebody. She kind of pauses, like, "Do you smell though? Take a breath. Take a deep breath in."
Cassandra inhales, yeah.
And you smell, it smells like kind of rotten egg sulfur. If you've ever driven past like a rendering plant or anything like that, it kind of has that odor to it. And she says, like, they still say that you can smell Gromer's piss on the wind. And then she climbs aboard her ship.
This also just, wow, I lost my, just made me remember that Meriss smells magic, so.
She does not notice any magic in the scent of Gromer.
There's too much
the magical smell of piss.
Piss.
There's something magic in the piss,
I ain't never fancied I was much like a grob, but this Gromer sounds like a little, kind of sort of like what I would like to do around here, is set up a little space for me and the townsfolk, a safe haven, if you will.
Here? In Gromer's?
Well, no, not in Gromer's, but on the Slagmire Isles, as they're called correctly sometimes.
Well, she kind of puts one foot on the prow of the ship and kind of like surveys everyone that's getting ready, and she says, "Plenty of space. I'm sure we'll find something." And she pops on her helmet, kind of like does the little and as it kind of locks into place, and her eye lenses like light up green.
Wait just a moment. Are we gonna need some helmets or protective gear? I would like to know before we take off.
You'll be fine. Just you're not going to be taking any distance from the ship, so just don't jump off. Don't fall. You'll be okay.
Cassandra moves to the center of the boat, or ship, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, yeah, don't breathe the ether gold. It's highly toxic. As I walk onto the boat, I'll do a...
Cassandra just stares in horror. She's like, what?
I'll do a quick ritual I always do before I get on a sky vessel. I'll touch the 2 middle fingers to my forehead, and then touch the boat, and then walk on. All right, where do you need me?
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Questward. This is Jonathan. I play Cassandra. Just want to jump in here for a short intermission, let you know that we're playing through a new saga here. It is an Age of Sigmar Soulbound adventure module. It's Crash and Burn from Cubicle 7. You can also find this episode on their website, which is linked in the show notes. Just wanted to say that we are doing weekly episodes going forward here. If you like the show, please share. Get onto iTunes, hit up a few positive reviews, go to forums, tell your family, friends, anybody that you think that would really enjoy Questward, listening to some good Warhammer RPG-ness. So with that said, thanks again. Let's get back to the episode. And remember, we are going weekly, so you can look forward to a new episode on the 21st of October. Thanks, folks.
All right, where do you need me? And I just go into, like, ship mode.
She wants you over on the side, working basically like one of
Valves.
Rush up on my ship terms, but yeah, exactly.
A valve.
Yeah, you're basically going to be adjusting all the ether that's inside of the engine.
Yeah.
Just when in doubt, use a technical term and add ether on the front of it.
Yeah, just add ether in front of any
Man,
part.
the ether prow. Yeah.
Ether pipes.
See? You're catching on.
A couple of the dwarves passing by you, they kind of give you like all right, yeah, she knows her shit. And they get back, they move further on. You kind of hang out here for a few moments, and you can tell that they finish loading up all their gear, and a few of the ship, lift off of the skyport and start moving ahead. She glances back like, you ready for adventure?
Yes!
I think as you do that, like one of the dwarves like drops something off the edge in surprise.
Well, she threw her hands up in the air and jumped while screaming that, so...
Smacks a dwarf in the face and he goes tumbling off. He drops something off the side.
Oh,
he just straight up kill a guy.
All she's murdered so far are fish, so Jesus Christ. Sorry.
You hear kind of a horn come across the deck of the ship. Brokka goes back to man the Aether helm, and they start moving east away from Gromer's town. You have a few minutes, like if you want to just kind of like take a break. They don't need you to do anything just yet, so feel free to sit and have a chat.
Okri, can I? Mag? I don't know what we're calling you anymore.
Okri, who's Okri? I'm Mag. What?
I ain't never ridden a beast like this.
Oh, it's fine once you get your footing and you realize that the only thing stopping you from dying is a small banister over the endless void of the air. It's really not that bad. The mag boots help too, and I just like clink my heels together.
Okri, you ain't too good at giving motivational speeches.
You'll be fine. It's perfect. There's no danger here. Nothing to worry about.
Meriss looks at Cass and she's just like, I don't know, what are you talking about? It'll be fine. This is exciting. Like look at it all. Like, we're up in the fucking... Nope, she wouldn't swear. We're up in the air.
No, I would not swear.
Up in the gosh dang air.
Meriss just, no, wouldn't swear.
Bad Meriss.
Meriss is going to send Pickles off to, like, explore, because it can go a little ways away from her. So Pickles is like, if there's anywhere that Pickles won't fly off the ship, because how fast are we going?
So these ships are actually not super quick.
Okay.
But, like a sailboat speed kind of thing.
Yeah, like regular ships.
Could walk
like a cruise
around
ship
without
in the sky.
Clinging to anything.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be the occasional turbulence, but you're okay right now. Yep.
Cool.
It's not like you're gonna put Pickles down on the bar and she just flies away.
That's actually what I'm worried about.
As soon as you let go of him, Dave just takes him from you. A sudden gust of wind.
Oh, there's no propellers on this plane. Like,
There
or plane.
Oh, no, there's a couple.
It's a ship, not a
there
plane.
definitely are.
It's a plane ship.
It's a plane ship. So just to describe it a little bit, imagine a ship that you'd have on the water, but it has basically like a really large circular metal tank of like like a dirigible kind of thing where it's like, gas above, and that's strapped to the deck of the ship, like instead of a mast. And then there are propellers kind of all over the ship in order to be able to let it turn left, right, so on, so on.
Cassandra is gripping things tightly and slowly moving over to the edge to take a peek.
I can tie it to the mast. Meriss is like trying to figure out the term. If there's a mast, if there's anything in the middle of it,
lash me to the mast. It's like some Odysseus level shit.
I can wait. No, the mast is the thing in the middle, not the thing on the front of the ship, right?
All right, here's some sky nautical knowledge for you here.
Everyone gather around Uncle
prow.
Meg.
The middle thing is the mast. The back is the aft. Right is starboard. Left is port. It's been a while.
You really know how to inspire confidence, Okri. I mean, Meg, I'm never going to get used to that.
It's all right. Everyone's deaf, apparently.
Cassandra's going to work up her courage and look over the edge of the ship.
Okay.
What does she see?
Yeah, you can do a couple things. Why don't you go ahead and roll? It's been a while since we did a roll. Let's do a roll.
It's almost like this is a dice rolling kind of game.
Yeah. Awareness mind 4-2, and I'll give you a little bit of the lay of the land.
4-2. 5 dice, 4 mind, 1 awareness. We got ourselves 4-6 and a whole bunch of 2s and
give me your
2 successes, baby.
Thank you. You're flying east from Gromer's Town, which is, if you're looking at the map, which will be provided in the show notes. Gromer's Town is northeast of Glades Reach, and you're traveling due east from that. And you spot a couple things, and we'll, put some notes on the map later. You see a series of small volcanoes with like smoke kind of spewing out lazily. You're not really sure too much other than that, but you can tell that's going to be due east.
So you said trio volcanoes?
Is anyone else looking, or is it just Cassandra?
I was going to just roll to like check like what is the weather like, because she has a focus.
Sure.
And survival, so just like make sure, hey, is everything okay for being on a big metal ship in the sky?
Okay, sure. Do a survival mind 4-3.
4-3, okay. Oh no, I dropped one.
Yeah.
She put so much effort in those dice rolls.
I know.
I have a 5d6 plus 1, so you said it was a 4-3?
Holy shit, yeah.
I got 3 successes.
Okay, awesome. You know what? This is perfect sailing conditions. The skies are clear, bright blue. You have a little bit of a little haze. You can see like the waves kind of lapping up lazily against the islands out in the sea there.
And it doesn't even smell a lot like piss up here anymore.
Not yet.
Now, Dave, you mentioned that we were seeing a few things. We've got volcanoes so far, but what else?
Oh,
what
that's
else
right.
is down below us?
Yeah, I was going to wait a little bit longer, but I'll give it to you now.
Oh, thank God.
To the north of the volcano is kind of coming into view. You're not going to be going towards it. You're kind of going past it. You notice a metal platform rising out of the ocean. Kind of looks like you as a player would know, it looks like an oil rig kind of a situation where it has 4 big pillars kind of in the water, a multi-layer of decks kind of like coming up and rising. And then you also notice that it has like these plumes of green, like toxic looking smoke just spewing out of the top and going northwest away from you.
And that was in the water?
That's coming. Yeah, it's in the water. Yeah.
Definitely looks man-made, I assume.
You would assume it's not naturally occurring. And the final thing is you spot a shipwreck. This is east of the volcanoes. You spot a rather large shipwreck that has run aground kind of like a series of sandy shoals. I guess you could call it an atoll.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that's everything. Weather is clear. There's just a very light breeze. Perfect sailing conditions.
Cass is getting a little bit more like kind of used to this. She's never been on a flying ship. She's never flown before. In fact, the others can actually tell from just her general demeanor. She's kind of hesitant to do anything on the ship. But, after kind of looking over the edge and gasping in wonder at the view that she's gotten, she kind of like turns a corner. Meg, I'm interested in how this whole thing works.
Well, it's quite simple. We harvest the ether gold in the form of gas, and then a couple of treatments, a couple of refinings, and before you know it, it's fuel.
Well, I want to get down into the guts of this thing. How does this whole thing fly?
Well, and I'll point up to the metal balloon. I'm assuming one of like two.
The technical term.
Yeah.
The metal balloon. Of course.
That there is the endrins, and that's exactly what makes this. And I'll just kind of like slap the
slaps the side of the Arcanaut frigate. This can hold so much aether gold in it.
I didn't know if this was going to put you on the spot or not. I'm like, tell me the specifics about how dwarves fly. Go,
please, please. I know too much about this world. So essentially what happens is we refine the ether gold, and it gets pumped right into these engines, and I'll point to the balloons up at the top, and that there makes this, and I'll slap the control the control module I'm on, so make this old girl fly.
God! And you hear someone scream from the front of the ship, "Don't slap the control modules!"
That's fine, I know what I'm doing.
Cassandra's just frozen. She's like holding onto the side of the ship. Wide-eyed.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like.
Is there a crow's nest?
There is a little crow's nest. It's kind of adorable, actually. Like I put a picture in there. On the very top, I don't know how they get up there.
Oh, there it is.
There's a little guy. He's a Kharadron. He's got a little like steampunk fantasy compass.
Sextant.
And you see him.
Sextant.
Yeah, hey, family podcast. And he's looking at the horizon, watching for any details or any wind currents.
If we're still pretty chilling out, Meriss is gonna try to figure out how to get up there.
I'll kind of go like, so if you go to the back engine, there's gonna be a little
She's not even asking, she's just looking. Are you
ladder.
Figuring out that's what she's doing?
There's a little ladder.
Thank you!
We hear a little bell kind of plinking off into the distance.
We really ought to get that off her. That's kind of insulting.
Meriss, you want to make a athletics body check?
Yes.
Okay.
Please don't fail this.
Let's do a 5-1.
Ooh.
5-1.
5-1.
Gonna roll my 2 dice.
That sound though.
We can do this. Here we go.
Talk to your dice, yes.
2 6. Wait, 5-1?
Yep.
1 success.
Oh. Okay. Somehow, so there's this duardin who's sitting in the top cockpit here, or the crow's nest. He's having a really like calm moment. He's just thinking to himself like, yeah, this is why I do this. He's looking out around the pristine, crisp horizon. He kind of leans back and he flips down a compass and takes a look at the life he left behind, a little photograph, and he runs a single finger across the portrait of his wife and child, and he thinks like, do it for them, damn it.
And at that exact moment, from a few feet behind him, he'll suddenly hear, "Hello!"
Damn it! And you, from below, Okri and Cass, you hear a clattering of a metal object hit the front of the ship and go spiraling off into the void.
Meriss like freezes for a moment and just stares at him.
What are you doing up here?
You looked like you were having so much fun, and I just had to come up and join you, and I wanted to see what you were doing and maybe come hang out with you for a while. And she's going to continue that line of questioning and apologizing.
I do appreciate you having the audience in mind and basically not
doing it nonstop.
Yeah. And you can tell like from behind the mask of this duardin, it's a very patient Dord. He kind of like, but he kind of looks
herself out. She's gonna run herself out after like if he doesn't reply to her sorries are just gonna kind of like pit her.
Please. Can he actually like he grabs your arm when he realizes you're like, and it occurs to him that you're not wearing like Kharadron like anchor boots, and he's like he kind of grips your arm and like this is an incredibly dangerous place for you. Do you understand? You will die. He kind of pauses and like puts one hand on each shoulder. You will die if we have any turbulence, you will fall to your death.
And she's gonna lean in really close to him because she's just kind of thinking like, is this how Duardins communicate? Like her, she's like she hasn't really had any friends. She considers Okri like now her best Duardin friend because Bort doesn't really like her, and she leans in close. she leans in close to him and just looks at him and goes, "Yeah, you'll keep me safe." Like she's not sure what to really say in response, and she's looking off like she's now not listening to him. She's looking off at the beautiful sky.
Actually, as you do that, Meriss,
no.
You spot a hazy purple cloud streaked with blue lightning heading towards you.
Meriss, I point at it and look back at the Duardin and goes, "What's that?"
What is this some kind?
No,
Hang
what?
on, I'm not falling for this one.
No. Look over there. No, really. What is that cloud?
Yeah,
no, it's
the magical cloud.
No. And
it's
she
just clear
grabs,
skies.
She grabs his face and just like smushes it between her hands and tries to turn it towards the cloud.
And as you do that, he kind of like stiffens for a moment, and you hear from several of the other sky vessels, horns begin to blare out. The misty clouds are very, very long ways away from you, but you realize that they must be moving at amazing speeds because they're closing fast. What do you do?
So there's gonna be a moment of
that's her. Yeah.
Now that she's still holding his face, staring at it, back to him, back to him, releases his face, and just goes, "That's not good, is it?"
No. Here, strap on here. We're gonna be.
No.
Hang on, Nico. Hang on. Strap in. God damn it.
I didn't even
we're in
get
for a
that.
bumpy landing.
So when he says strap in, is there anything that she can hold on to? Otherwise, she's just gonna hold on to the dwarf. The Duardin, I mean.
His face.
Yeah, he kind of takes a look around. He kind of like begins to grab some tethers and cables. He's basically, if you've ever been on a road trip in the early 2000s where you would strap things to the roof of your car, get ready, Meriss. We're going on a road trip.
Down below, Cassandra's asking Okri, "Oh, whereabouts are we? Can we find some food down here?"
Honestly, I'm not too sure. Usually we have quite a bit of ashes, like completely oblivious to the cloud, or,
that must be the food bell.
Oh, no, Cass, that's not the food bell, that's a bad bell.
Oh, you got separate bells for that.
Yeah, you see, we call it the bad bell because bad stuff's about to happen.
As soon as Okri says that, your senses are muffled as these viscous purple clouds engulf the fleet around you, and it's so thick that you could barely make out the edges of the deck in front of you. Everyone do an awareness for 2.
Okri, is this the dust I was not supposed to be breathing in?
As she says,
Okri, is this the dust I'm not supposed to be breathing in? You tell me right now, damn you!
I will grab a hold of Cass's wrist so she doesn't go flying away. Just to be like,
Awareness mind 4-2. Actually, no, this is not a 4-2. This would be at least a 5-3. Awareness 5-3.
Holy shit, a 5-3, really?
Yep.
Okay, I just got it. I genuinely just got this.
Hey!
I kid you not.
Okay.
5-3, 1, 2. Oh, yeah, I got 3 5s and 2 4s.
Nice.
That is unlikely.
Fuck yeah. Dave, would
I
be able to use my lenses to either see magic or give myself +1 to the test? Because I can like filter out toxins. I can see.
I think this is kind of the sort of thing that your lenses are for. So yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. I was gonna say, if you're not giving me that one, I mean, come on.
I don't think I have to roll for like I got 1 success. But question with her witch sight, and if it's magic, I don't think I have to. Would you just start violently sneezing?
Okay, we'll resolve these all at the same time. One moment.
I did not succeed.
Yeah. Okay. So in a flash, this cloud just sweeps through your entire ship. You can't see 2 feet in front of you. Cass, maybe it's from your time with dust clouds back home. But you actually are able to like make out the deck of the ship. You kind of are able to somehow catch these bolts of incandescent violet lightning as they fork through the clouds, and you actually see it slam into the airship that's right behind Grugny's face, and you spot it just detonate it explodes in a fiery, gaseous cloud, and you see wreckage, you see crew, you see them go everywhere, and they ripple out through the storm. And amid the rolling clouds, and visible only by the glow of the dying ship and the flashes of lightning, you spot an airborne horde of chaos demons. They let rip a horrifying screech, and they dive towards you.